Hello, and welcome to the third video of the 6 video series. Today we will talk about biological factors. Understanding biological factors is essential when exploring how talent develops in sport, because biology shapes both performance potential and the opportunities athletes receive. Engel's biopsychosocial model 1981 reminds us that biological traits never operate alone. They interact with psychological confidence and the social environment surrounding the athlete. When we look at youth sport today, two of the strongest biological influences are biological maturation and relative age, both of which can significantly alter the way players are perceived, selected, and even developed. Research consistently shows that biological maturity has a major effect on physical performance. In fact, Radnor and colleagues 2012 found that maturity status often explains more variation in speed, power, and strength than relative age does in English male junior academy footballers. This means that children who mature earlier physically often appear more talented, even if their advantage comes mostly from being biologically older, taller, or stronger. To address this, academies like AFC Bournemouth have adopted biobanding, which is grouping players by biological maturity rather than by chronological age. This system helps prevent early developers from dominating simply because of size, while giving later developers a fairer development experience. It aligns with evidence that birth quartile advantages do not remain stable over time by Brustio et al. 2023. Demonstrated that the overrepresentation of early born players in youth football often disappears by the time athletes reach senior levels. This reinforces that early physical advantages do not guarantee long-term success. The issue of relative age effect, also known as RAE, is also central to youth sport. Classic work by Mush and Grondin 2001 highlights how athletes born early in the selection year are consistently overrepresented in youth sports due to simple eligibility cutoffs. More recent research by Kelly et al. 2021 shows that this relative age advantage still persists today across many sports systems. RAE creates unequal competition, inflating the confidence, playing time, and perceived talent of early born players, while making later born and late maturing athletes appear less capable. This becomes a developmental problem, not a true measure of talent. However, early disadvantage can sometimes become a long-term advantage. This is where the underdog effect emerges by Nurma Hamed 2019 found that athletes with lower expectations placed upon them often develop greater resilience, motivation, long-term performance habits. In football, this means that quartile 3 and quartile 4 players and late maturers may learn to cope with struggle earlier, becoming more adaptable and psychologically robust over time. When these late developers physically catch up, they often surpass the early maturing players because they have to work harder for longer. Birthplace environment also shaped biological and performance outcomes by Baker et al. 2009 showed that where an athlete grows up, altitude, climate, terrain, and community influences can interact with biological development and can help create elite performers. A great example of this is Kenyan distance runners. Their success is shaped by a combination of biological factors such as slim physiques and tendon stiffness, combined with environmental influences like high altitude, cultural running traditions, and daily physical activity from a young age. This is a strong illustration of the biopsychosocial model in practice, showing how biology and environment work together by producing elite performance. Kenyan long distance runners, particularly those from the Kalenjin communities in the Rift Valley, provide one of the clearest real world examples of how environment, culture, and biology interact to create successful talent pathways. Growing up and training at high altitude, typically between 2,000 and 2,500 meters above sea level, naturally enhances aerobic development by stimulating increased red blood cell production and improving oxygen carrying capacity by Larson 2003. Many children also run significant distances to school each day, which builds an aerobic foundation, efficient mechanics, and endurance-specific motor patterns from an early age by Unaware et al. 2006. Physiologically, Kenyan runners often display traits associated with elite endurance performance, including low body mass, long and slim lower limbs, and exceptional running economy, all of which contribute to reduced energy costs during running by Saltin et al. 1995. These early and naturally occurring exposures mirror the foundation stages of formal talent pathways, where movement efficiency, aerobic capacity, and physical robustness are developed long before structured coaching begins. This example perfectly demonstrates the biopsychosocial model at work. Biological predispositions, cultural norms, and environmental challenges blend to produce one of the most dominant groups in endurance running history. Overall, biological factors such as maturity, relative age, and development environment all play powerful roles in shaping early sport experiences. But as Phillips et al. 2010 emphasizes, athlete development is dynamic, complex, and non-linear, meaning that early advantages do not guarantee future success, and early disadvantages do not determine failure. Approaches like biobanding, awareness of RA, and more inclusive development systems aim to reduce biological bias and create fairer pathways for all athletes. Understanding these biological factors help us see why talent is not fixed. It's shaped, influenced, and constantly changing as the athlete grows. Thank you for watching this video. You will see the next video above.